This video is brought to you by For Such a Time. The back says, who knows whether you have come to the presidency for such a time as this. Trump's silhouette and great God bless our President Trump. So let's get into your briefing. Alright, Rebels, your briefing today is from the Epoch Times, and the author is Nicole Howe, H-A-O. It was first reported on the 22nd, and it's been updated today, the 23rd. So it says here 21 million fewer cell phone users in China may suggest a high CCP virus death toll. The number of Chinese cell phone users dropped by 21 million in the past 3 months, Beijing authorities announced on March 19th. Deaths due to the CCP virus may have contributed to the high number of account closings. Cell phones are an indispensable part of life in China. The digitization level is very high in China. People can't survive without a cell phone. Tang Jingwan, a U.S.-based China affairs commentator, told the Epoch Times on March 21st. Dealing with the government for pensions and Social Security, buying train tickets, shopping, no matter what people want to do, they are required to use cell phones. The Chinese regime requires all Chinese to use their cell phones to generate a health code. Only with a green health code are Chinese allowed to move in China now. It's impossible for a person to cancel his cell phone. China introduced mandatory facial scans on December 1st, 2019 to confirm the identity of the person who registered the phone. As early as September 1st, 2010, China required all cell phone users to register phones with their real identification, by which the state can control people's speech via its large-scale monitoring system. Furthermore, Chinese people's bank accounts and Social Security accounts are bundled with their cell phone plans. Apps on Chinese phones check SIM cards against the state's database to make sure the number belongs to the user. Beijing first launched cell phone-based health codes on March 10th. All people in China must install a cell phone app and register their personal health information. Then the app can generate a QR code which appears in 3 colors to classify the user's health level. Red means the person has an infectious disease, yellow means the person might have one, and green means the person doesn't. Beijing claimed that the health codes are intended to prevent the spread of the CCP virus, commonly known as novel coronavirus. A woman is checking her cell phone in Shanghai, China on March 17th. That's the picture credit there. 21 million cell phone users. China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIIT, announced on March 19th the number of phone users in each province in February. Compared with the previous announcement, which was released on December 18th, 2019, for November 2019 data, both cell phone and landline users dropped dramatically. In the same period the year before, the number of users increased. The number of cell phone users decreased from 1.600957 billion to 1.579927 billion, a drop of 21.03 million. The number of landline users decreased from 190.83 million to 189.99 million, a drop of 840,000. In the previous February, the number increased. According to MIIT, the number of cell phone users increased in February 2019 from 1.5591 billion to 1.5835 billion, which is 24.37 million more. The number of landline users increased from 183.477 million to 190.118 million, which is 6.641 million more. According to China's National Bureau of Statistics, the country's population at the end of 2019 was 4.67 million larger than in 2018, reaching 1.40005 billion. The 2020 decrease in landline users may be due to the nationwide quarantine in February, during which small businesses were shut down. But the decrease in cell phone users can't be explained in this way. According to the operation data of all three Chinese cell phone carriers, cell phone accounts increased in December 2019 but dropped steeply in 2020. China Mobile is the largest carrier, holding about 60% of the Chinese cell phone market. It reported that it gained 3.732 million more accounts in December 2019, but lost 0.862 million in January 2020 and 7.254 million in February 2020. China Mobile's performance in the same months in 2019 was markedly different. It gained 2.411 million more accounts in January 2019 and 1.091 million more in February 2019. China Telecom is the second largest carrier, holding about 21% of the market. It gained 1.18 million users in December 2019 but lost 0.43 million users in January 2020 and 5.6 million users in February of 2020. In 2019, it gained 4.26 million in January and 2.96 million in February. China Unicom, which hasn't yet published the data for February, shares the same experience as the other two telecoms in January 2020 and in early 2019. The company lost 1.186 million users in January 2020, but gained 1.962 million users in February 2019 and 2.763 million users in January 2019. China allows each adult to apply for at most 5 cell phone numbers. Since February 10th, the majority of Chinese students have taken online classes with a cell phone number due to their schools being ordered to stay closed. These students' accounts are under their parents' names, which means some parents needed to open a new cell phone. What the hell did I do? Okay. These students' accounts are under their parents' names, which means some parents needed to open a new cell phone account in February. A vendor uses her cell phone as she waits for customers in Zhejiang, China on March 6, 2020. Analyzing the numbers. The big question, and this is, guys, this is Tom Clancy level analysis. If he was doing a story on the CIA, this is really fascinating. Analyzing the numbers, the big question is whether the dramatic drop in cell phone accounts reflects the account closings of those who have died due to the CCP virus. It's possible that some migrant workers had 2 cell phone numbers before. One is from their hometown and the other is from the city they work in. In February, they might close the number in the city they work in because they couldn't go there, Tang said. Typically, migrant workers would have gone to their home city for the Chinese New Year in January, and then travel restrictions would have prevented them from returning to the city where they held a job. However, because there is a basic monthly fee to hold a cell phone account in China, the majority of migrant workers, the lowest income group, are likely to only have one cell phone account. China had 288.36 million migrant workers as of April 2019, according to the Chinese National Bureau of Statistics. On March 17th, Meng Wei, spokesman of China's National Development and Reform Commission, said at a monthly press conference in Beijing that except for Hubei, All provinces reported that more than 90% of their businesses resumed operations. In Zhejiang, Shanghai, Jiangsu, Shandong, Guangxi, and Chongqing, almost all businesses resumed production. If both the number of migrant workers and the level of employment are accurate, more than 90% of migrant workers have gone back to work. The economic dislocation caused by shutdowns in China may have also led some people who have an extra cell phone to cancel it. With business poor or stopped, they may not want to carry the extra expense. At present, we don't know the details of the data. If only 10% of the cell phone accounts were closed because the users died because of the CCP virus, the death toll would be 2 million, Tang said. The reported death toll in China doesn't line up with what can otherwise be determined about the situation there. A comparison with the situation in Italy also suggests the Chinese death toll is significantly underreported. Italy adopted similar measures to those used by the Chinese regime. The CCP virus death toll in Italy of 4,825 translates to a death rate of 9%. In China, where a much larger population was exposed to the virus, the reported death toll of 3,265 translated to a death rate of only 4%, less than half that reported in Italy. Activities in the outbreak epicenter of Hubei province seem to contradict the reported death toll in China. The 7 funeral homes in the city of Wuhan were reported to be burning bodies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in late January. Hubei province has used 40 mobile cremators, each capable of burning 5 tons of medical waste and bodies a day, since February 16th. Lacking data, the real death toll in China is a mystery. The cancellation of 21 million cell phones provides a data point that suggests the real number may be far higher than the official number. The Epoch Times refers to the novel coronavirus, which causes the disease COVID-19, as the CCP virus because the Chinese Communist Party's cover-up and mismanagement allowed the virus to spread throughout China and create a global pandemic. Guys, this is a little longer video, but I felt it was important to share this information and this analysis. Something to consider. Okay, so rebels, you've been briefed. Go forth and speak freely. Share this around if you will.